Hello guys, my name is ButchCollar1, bringing you guys our week 10 team builder for season 1 of the GPL. This week we're taking on Seattle Sceptile. He's in the other conference, so I think he's 4 and 5 right now. We're 7 and 2, so he's actually top of his conference because top of his division. I mean, it's conference he isn't, but top of the division with 4 and 5, which is interesting. I think the whole conference, the whole division had a little bit of unfortunate losses, I guess, or it's just a little bit. Don't know what happened there exactly, but they're all with a negative record so far. So yeah, that's interesting. But he's first in this division, so props to him for that. With a 4 and 5 record, we really want to win this one to get us closer to playoffs. Obviously. Yeah. He has an interesting team with the biggest threats being Curan Black, Terrakion, Mega Scizor, Sylveon. So I'll go to what we brought each set for, but Magnezone as well. So it's an interesting team. It's an interesting matchup. Could have brought a lot of mons here, but would have really put in work, depending on what he brought, of course. I'm really expecting defensive Sylveon this week, because I mean I have Zygarde and I have Mega Heracross, and just Bolt, max defense, max HP Sylveon does great against both of those. So I expect that to come. Alamomola I expect to come as a counter to both of those as well. The Curan Black, of course, the Magnezone to try and trap my Ferrothorn. Yeah, that's and then the Scizor probably, and maybe the Terrakion. He has a Shedinja, so I don't think that's going. Trevenant is a bit iffy as well, unless you really want, say, a Zygarde. Switch in for 1000 arrows. Is a Roserade as well that might come to absorb potential T-spikes. So yeah, let's see what we'll bring this week. First up, our Mega Heracross, Rock Blast, Spin Missile, Close Combat, Swords Dance. Basically all the coverage we need. We can't really hit Sylveon super effectively. So because we're gonna bring Swords Dance. If I get a Swords Dance up, something is gonna die. We take most hits from his team pretty well. Max attack Adamant, 220 speed, which is for the Timid's max speed Magnezone, and then the rest in HP. So yeah, pretty straightforward there, just for some wall breaking. Bar the Sylveon, Heracross really runs through his team. So do have to bring this week. It is a great matchup. So yeah, general wall breaking there, nothing too crazy. Next up, our Ferrothorn, Leech Seed, Self Rock, Spikes, Gyro Ball with a Shed Shell to avoid being trap played by the Magnezone. 248 HP, 60 defense, 200 and sassy nature. This is to take special hits better. From like the Roserade and stuff. I think with this investment we take a Specs HP Fire from Magnezone, if I'm not mistaken. Without the Knocko Parry, that is. Because we have the Shed Shell to make sure it can't trap us. So yeah, Leech Seed, Stealth Rock, Spikes, Gyro Ball. Gyro Ball to hit especially Terrakion really hard and for some general damage. Spikes and Stealth Rock says he has only one form of removal, being his Mega Scizor, and he has not shown the tendency to run default on it. So and chipping down his team is just really good this week. And then Leech Seed for some recovery, I guess. Nothing too crazy here. Just general Ferrothorn shenanigans. Yeah, really interesting. Might swap Leech Seed for Protect or something, but probably gonna keep it Leech Seed. Just because the chip and then the recovery is pretty nice. Next up, our Alolan Muk, which is our Sylveon switch in. I expect the defensive Sylveon, but if you were to bring offensive modest spec Sylveon, this is a decent switch into it. We take like 60% from it, but with our Figgy Berry we heal it right up. So, and then we can freely click knockoff, click recycle to get our berry back. Yeah, 252 HP. Careful nature with 200 SPDF and then 56 attack, because we don't really need the Fizz Def. Not staying in on a monster like Terrakion with Muk anyway, because under EQ is gonna kill me Yeah, Fire Punch, knockoff, Poison Jab, recycle. Fire Punch for the Scizor, because I need to be able to hit that thing. I can 2-hit KO depending on his investment. Is he if he's really defensive, can't 2-hit KO, but if he's semi defensive or fully offensive, he dies to Fire Punches, and we have also always a chance to get a burn there. So yeah, pretty standard mug set here. But our main switch into the Sylveon. Next up are Tornadus, Sludge Wave, Heat Wave, Defog, Hurricane, with Fly and EMZ just to hit something really hard. 240 speed, Modest Natures for the Kyurem Black. Modest Nature to hit as hard as possible, and the rest in HP. Sludge Wave for the Sylveon, Heat Wave for the Magnezone. To hit, I mean, it hits the Scizor as well, as hard as it can. The Roserade, you might click Hurricane on, but the main thing is Heat Wave is also there to predict the Magnezone incoming, because it's probably his best switch into my Tornadus' Magnezone if he expects a Hurricane. For instance, if I'm in on the Roserade with my Tornadus and he clicks and he switches into his Magnezone, he really doesn't want to take a Heat Wave. So I can just click Heat Wave on the Roserade, expecting the Magnezone, and I will hit both super effectively. That's basically the point. And I mean, Roserade can hit me decently hard with a Sludge Wave, but a Sludge Bomb, but shouldn't kill me. So, and he doesn't want to stay in on me anyways, unless he's Scarfed or something, which would be interesting, but nothing too crazy. Next up, Zygarde. Bring something different this week. Max HP, a lot of defense and a lot of speed F with a sassy nature. Leftovers, 1000 waves, toxic, rest and hidden power fire. This basically is meant to trap some things like mostly the Alomomola actually. If I can 1000 waves Alomomola and toxic it. If it's just the standard cleric set, so the Wish Protect Toxic Scald set, it gets 1v1 by my Zygarde easily, because it's really can't do too much damage to us. We can rest up the burn damage if we need to. We click 1000 waves once to trap it and then let the Toxic do its work. It can't get out, and it's if it can, we can 1v1 a defensive Sylveon as well, if he doesn't have Heat Wave on it, if he doesn't have Heal Bell on it, I mean. So we'll see. I'm expecting it to have Heal Bell, but we'll see what he actually brings to the match. Yeah, it's an interesting set. Want to be able to do 1v1 everything. I need something to hit the Scizor. That's why I bring HP Fire. Was toying with the idea of bringing Camouflage or something to remove our weaknesses, but then the Terrakion runs through us this, so can't really afford to. So yeah, I need to be able to hit the Scizor there. And then last but not least, our sweeper this week. Bringing our Cofagrigus with leftovers. Max HP, max special attack, modest nature. A quiet nature, I mean. Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, Trick Room, Energy Ball. If we get a Trick Room and a Nasty Plot up, if his team is pretty weakened, we can easily win the game with this. Shadow Ball hits almost everything. He hits 10 out of his 11 mons, at least neutral. And the last one, being Crocodile, gets hit by Energy Ball. And the Alomomola gets hit harder by Energy Ball as well. So if we get this up late game, even when the Crook wants to come in, we can take 2 jolly knockoffs. So shouldn't be too much of an issue. So yeah, that's our team. Nothing too crazy. The Zygarde is pretty interesting. For the most part, it's pretty standard. So it'll be an interesting match. If we win this one, we're in a really good spot. So yeah, let's try that, I guess. So yeah, see you guys in the match. Alright guys, let's get into the battle with Seattle Sceptile here. Let me set this real quick. So yeah, he brings a team of Kyurem Black, Roserade, Terrakion, Magnezone, Crocodile, and Sylveon. I expect this to be his defensive Sylveon. No Mega Scissor, so he does not have any hazard removal, so hazard stacking him is looking really good, I guess. So yeah, let's see how we did. It's a pretty important match, because if we win this one, we get pretty close to playoffs. If we lose, we might be in a bit of trouble. So yeah, let's see. He's fighting for playoffs himself at the moment, so he's top of his division, because his division is a bit on the weaker side, I guess. But yeah, let's see how we did. So we do lead off Ferrothorn, as he does lead off Roserade. And right here, I'm at Anticipation. And the thing is, I was expecting that I would get a message if he had HP Fire. But I don't get any message, so I was doing, does he not have HP Fire? He might have HP Ice for my Zygarde. So I was like, oh, he doesn't have HP Fire. I can freely set up my rocks here, as he goes for a Hidden Power, blows him back, gets a crit. I don't know if this matters. He's not Life Orb, because he doesn't lose any hit points. If it's Specs, it didn't matter. If he's not anything that's not Specs, the crit mattered. So getting up rocks would be huge for the Kyurem and breaking the Surdium. It's a stupid play on my part, to be honest, because why do I stay in? I can just freely go into Muck and get a free knockoff off. So it was just stupid on my part, but I was expecting to get the message from Anticipation warning me for HP Fire. So we do know that doesn't work. So yeah, good to know, I guess. So we're down already, which is not good. So no hazards for me this time, which were really great in this matchup. So that's quite annoying. You get a free speech in the Tornadus now. We're just gonna click the Heat Wave here. If he wants to predict a Fly-in EM0, so we could have gone into his Magnezone. So we click Heat Wave with just barely anything to the Sylveon. It's lefty, so it's a defensive Sylveon. As you go into the Muck to take it Hyper Voice, as you go to a potential Hyper Voice, but he goes for a Wish. So yeah, I just go for a knockoff here, I think. To get rid of any items. Yeah, so we get rid of the lefties on the Crook, which is nice. Getting rid of it, he gets Wish back, so no damage there, just no more lefties. Pitch into my Heracross, expecting a knockoff or in an Earthquake, as he goes for the rocks. So yeah, pretty good play out. He's probably going for the rocks. We're just gonna click Close Combat here, because there's only two things on his team that want to take that, and Sylveon and the Roserade. So as we go for the Close Combat, we're just 54%. So we know he's not max Fizz Def, because otherwise we would have done like, I don't know, 30-40%. So it's pretty sped up bulky then for our Tornadus, I guess, and our Feeny maybe, which we didn't bring. So just gonna go for a Rock Blast here. Should have maybe gone for the Close Combat, but went for the Rock Blast. He does go for the Protect we go for Close Combat actually. Goes for a Protect, good place to get some lefties back, but we click Rock Blast here, get a crit, which didn't matter because we only need 4 hits there. So down goes the Sylveon, which is good. It's a big threat, it's already gone. So yeah, it goes into the Magnezone. Don't want to take a T-Bolt here at -1 SPDF, so just gonna switch in my Zygarde here. ADZ just go for a Thunderbolt. Doing nothing, of course. As I can click 1000 Waves here for free and then trap something. Expect him to go into the Crook most likely, or the Roserade, since this is already real switches to 1000 area anymore. He doesn't want to go into a Kyurem or Terrakion. So we go for 1000 Waves here. Expect the Crook here for an Intimidate as well. So goes into the Crocodile, and we manage to trap him. We're at -1, but it doesn't matter too much. He goes for knocking off our lefties, as we go for a Toxic here to hopefully stall him out. Yeah, so he goes for a Toxic himself. We go for 1000 Waves to get some damage off. I think we're gonna go for 1000 Waves again here. Or no, maybe we going for Rest here, because he will die in 2 to 3 turns from Toxic, and by then our sleep turns are over. So that's why I rested here, because he can't really do much damage to me anyway. So just gonna let him die the Toxic. He's gonna click Earthquake, Toxic is gonna whittle him down to take one more tick, and then yeah, he go for a Q again, and yeah, down goes the Crocodile, which is nice. So that's 5-4 now. He was pretty salty about the set, but honestly, I mean, it's a good set to break down his team. He has an Alamomola, which is mainly what this was for, this set, because unless it runs refresh, it just dies to Discus. I mean, you can click Scald or Ice Beam, but Alamomola doesn't hit that hard, so that's what it mainly was for, this set. But it goes into the Kyurem Black here, and just clicks Outrage, I think. So yeah, Zygo goes down. Didn't really need it anymore, because I can't Toxic the Roserade, so that's why I didn't hold on to my Zygarde. Wasn't that important anymore. So yeah, he's locked in the Outrage here, so I'm going to the Heracross because it's the best way to tank the hit, I thought. So so I go for a close combat here, and I actually outspeed, which was weird because I expected him to at least creep me. But alright, we take a free kill on the Kyurem Black here, so that thing is gone. But that's good. So it's 4-3 now. Yeah, was so far pretty good. He goes into Magnezone again to get a free Thunderbolt off, I guess. As I go into my Alone and Knock to take a Volt Switch or a T-Bolt. He goes for the T-Bolt, no para, so that's good. I can just click Knock Off here as we it goes for the Volt Switch, and we get our Berry. Go for a Fire Punch actually. Because I mean, I could have gone for a knockoff, but knockoff was a risk because I don't want to give the Terrakion a justified boost. That's why I went for Fire Punch there, because it hits both its main switch-ins, and it probably wants to preserve its Terrakion, which might be Scarfed, which would be a pretty smart bring on his part to outspeed my Tornadus. So yeah, he goes for a Sleep Powder, he misses. I go for a Recycle here. Should have maybe gone for the Fire Punch, but getting our Berry back was pretty nice. He goes for a Sleep Powder again, which leads me to believe he actually was probably Specs, because he kept clicking the same moves. Didn't ask him afterward, but he goes into his Terrakion here as we wake up and go for a Fire Punch. Pitiful damage and no burn, unfortunately, which would have been nice. And I mean, I decided to stay in here and go for. What did he even go for? Might have gone for a knockoff actually. If he was potentially Scarfed, knocking off his Scarf here would have allowed me to go into my Tornadus and just click Hurricane. So yeah, he crits his Stone Edge here, which definitely mattered. My Mug was very bulky, so that's a Stone Edge crit, and my Mug goes down. So I basically should have Fire Punched because the Recycle was wasted actually. Because the Sleep Powder miss didn't even matter, I guess, to say that, because I mean it crit me, so the Sleep Powder miss didn't matter at all. This crit definitely mattered, so I go into my Kofak. It's my best switch in to his Terrakion, because I'm expecting him to be Scarfed, and I don't want to take a Stone Edge with my Torn, because it just can't take that. So I go into my Kofak as he goes for a Stone Edge again. As I go for a Trick Room here. Right here, I should have honestly gone for a Nasty Plot, but didn't want to risk him critting because Stone Edge is a high crit move. So I just went for damage with the Energy Ball, doing like 64%. So that's good damage, but the Terrakion is still alive, which is annoying. As he goes for another Stone Edge, doesn't crit luckily, so my Kofak lives to tell the tale as he goes into his Magnezone. As I click Shadow Ball, predict him. I mean, I had no reason to click Energy Ball there, because both his switch-ins resisted Energy Ball. So just clicked the safe Shadow Ball there, because it would have killed the Terrakion anyway. Can go for another Shadow Ball here, as he is Select Berry, so his speed raises. Which is gonna be interesting after this turn, but alright, he's gonna T-Bolt and take out my Kofak here, but it put in some work, so that's pretty nice. I go into Mega Heracross here, as I was actually expecting him to outspeed me at +1 speed, so that I would be faster in Trick Room. But that comes back to bite me because he has actually no speed, I think. Because, I mean, he would have outsped me otherwise. So, and, I mean, Magnezone goes down, which is great. But my Heracross has taken a lot of damage now, which is not good. As he can freely go into his Roserade here. I'm gonna just like Sludge Bomb, I guess. Taking out my Heracross. Didn't want to switch in my Thorn. And this basically comes down to him hitting his 4th Stone Edge in a row, I guess. A 5th Stone Edge in a row. Because I'm expecting him to be Scarfed Terrakion. So if he is Scarfed and he hits the Stone Edge, he wins this game. So yeah, if you go for the Heat Wave here, take out the Roserade. Was more accurate than a Hurricane. And right here he goes into the Terrakion. I click Z Hurricane here to make 100% sure I don't miss the move. As he does go for a Stone Edge. Hits 50 in a row, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, got hexed out of this match, I guess. I was pretty salty after this one. I didn't play that well, especially with the Ferrothorn. So I should have immediately gone into Mach, but alright, that's not too bad. That's my own fault. But I mean, I had bar the Sleep Powder miss. I had no hex in my favor, and that actually didn't matter at all. After he did end up critting my my Mach, so I was pretty salty after this one. He didn't really deserve to win this one, in my opinion. But alright, he won, so good on him. We are 7-3 now, so we might be in trouble to make playoffs. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, see you.